or night, you tuned into the podcast that you need in your life. I am your host, Mo, and welcome to the Mean Girls 1821 Experience, where we mean what we say what we mean, and we do it all within 3 to 5 minutes-ish, depending on the lean of the Lord. Now, if you tuned in last week, you know I had this outfit on. Oh, well, guess who didn't feel like changing? Me, and who still glorified the Father. Okay. Nevertheless, you know the deal, you know the drill. Let's honor ourselves. I'll say it every week. Life be life and adulting is ghetto. And we just came through a hurricane here in Florida. God is faithful. Okay. So those of us that are still alive, okay, and made it through this cane, listen, we take time to acknowledge the Father because it could have been another way. Nevertheless, the premise of this podcast is truth. So each and every Friday via my YouTube channel and or using your podcast app, I'm going to encourage you to do 3 things. Number 1, show up fully, because those that mind don't matter, and those that matter truly don't mind. To walk with integrity, and last but not least, to reflect, because sometimes the issue is you. So without further ado, let's begin today's episode. Most recently, Hurricane Ian passed through the state of Florida. And if you're unaware, hurricanes are usually formed by warm bodies of large water, which explains why cities like Miami Beach, Daytona Beach, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale tend to get hit the hardest, because that's where hurricane's power source comes from. But watch this. As the hurricane spins more inland, it may carry power, but the amount of power that it originally had diminishes because it's further away from its original power source. And God was reminding me in the midst of a hurricane that kind of represents how we live our lives. We may carry power, but it's residue from our last encounter. Why? Because we're not interested in reconnecting with the original source. So we're living our lives from the last prayer we prayed. We're living our lives from the last sermon we heard. We're living our lives off of grandma's prayer. We're living our lives off the last service we attended, forgetting that lingering power is not lasting power. And over time, that power will diminish. And in this day and age, we need power that lasts. I love you. Mean it. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mean Girls 1821 podcast with me, your host, Mo. Tune in each and every Friday for a fresh episode exclusively found on my YouTube channel or using the podcast app. And always remember, words have power. So whenever you speak, mean what you say and say what you mean. Take care.